My precious child, if only you could see the things I've shielded you from, the unseen dangers, the silent traps, the people and paths that looked good but would have broken you from the inside out. If you could only see the full picture the way I do, you would understand that so many of the no's in your life were really my deepest acts of love. There were things that never made it to your doorstep, not because they didn't exist, but because I stood between them and you. Attacks were formed, conversations were spoken in hidden rooms to wound you, assignments were sent to derail you, relationships looked promising on the outside, but were hollow at their core, and yet you never saw them reach you, because I blocked them before they touched your heart. You didn't even ask. I just did it because I love you that much. I didn't wait for you to cry out for help. I protected you before you even knew you needed it. I know. You've spent so many days measuring your life by what did happen. The doors that slammed shut, the people who left, the seasons that stretched too long, the prayers that seemed unanswered. You've mourned over what was denied or delayed, thinking you missed something. But today, I'm asking you to look deeper. I'm pulling your heart beyond what your eyes can see. I'm inviting you into a spiritual reality, one that's been shaping your life far more than the visible ever has. You have no idea what I removed from your path, but I need you to trust that every removal was mercy in disguise. I am not only the God who gives, I am also the God who withholds. And my withholdings are not rejection. They are protection. They are redirection. They are love in motion, even when they feel like silence. There were doors you pleaded for me to open, but if you had stepped through, they would have led to compromise, emotional fatigue, and spiritual confusion. Behind those doors were burdens you weren't created to carry. There were people you prayed would stay, but they would have poisoned your purpose and robbed you of peace. So I closed those doors, quietly, swiftly, sovereignly. Even when you thought I was absent, I was deeply involved. And now, I am letting you feel the truth of what's been happening in the shadows. You didn't miss your breakthrough. You were spared from breakdown. That delay wasn't me ignoring you. It was me outpacing destruction. That silence wasn't abandonment. It was my strategy. I wasn't just protecting you from the enemy. I was also protecting you from yourself, from impatience, from rushing into things before they were ready, from accepting good when I had something God ordained waiting just ahead. And yes, I know the cost of waiting. I know how many times you whispered, "Why not now?" I know how hard it was to hold your faith together while nothing made sense. But my answer has always been, because I love you too much to let you build on shaky ground. You've stayed faithful through disappointment. You've kept praising even when it hurt. You held back your tears so others wouldn't see your pain. You put on a strong face while your heart quietly cracked beneath the surface. But every single moment, every single tear was sacred to me. Nothing was wasted. Each trial shaped your character. Each delay stretched your endurance. Each heartbreak deepened your dependence on me. And now you're ready to see what I've been building behind the curtain. I've been growing you from the inside out, stretching your spirit, expanding your capacity. You couldn't feel it at the time, but it's there now. That new peace you carry, that's me. The strength you have to walk away from things that once defined you, that's me. The way you can rest even when nothing's resolved, that's my spirit at work within you. These are the fruits of the invisible fire, evidence of growth that didn't make noise but made roots. And this wasn't just for your survival, it was for your mission. The wisdom you gained in the waiting, the healing you found in the hidden years, the strength you built in silence. These are what you'll carry to others who are still wandering. But before I could release you fully, I had to remove the things that would have crushed you. That's what this whole season was about. Not punishment, not abandonment. Preparation. You thought you were stuck, but I was rearranging your atmosphere. You thought I was silent, but I was speaking through every loss. Each thing that fell away was never random. Every shift had meaning. Every goodbye was actually a gift in disguise. And now, your hands are freer than you realize. Freer to carry blessing. Freer to build what's next. Freer to walk into what I've set before you. So I ask you now, will you trust me differently? Not just as the God who gives, but as the God who shields. Not just for what I've done that you can see, but for what I've done in secret that you'll never even know about. That's maturity. That's worship. That's walking by faith, not by sight. Real faith is not just believing for miracles. It's trusting me when I say no. It's standing still when there's no applause. It's finding peace even when you never get closure. That kind of faith, it moves mountains, not because you fought harder, but because you stood longer. And now I say to you, you are no longer wandering unaware. You are waking up to my presence in the quiet. You are realizing that I don't just work in big, loud miracles. I'm there in the small shifts, the invisible victories, the doors that closed to keep you safe, my child. If only you could grasp what I've already removed from your path. Obstacles you didn't see, pain that never reached you, betrayals that were stopped before they could begin. I have been watching over your journey with more intention than you can imagine. You think the road has been hard, but you have no idea how much harder it would have been if I hadn't stepped in. The way I cleared your path, silently, invisibly, lovingly, is proof that I have never once taken my eyes off you. What's ahead of you now is not a leftover blessing or a backup plan. It's the very thing I've been protecting all along. The next season you're about to walk into was crafted with purpose and guarded with care. You weren't ready before, but now you are. Not because of your strength, but because of your surrender. Not because you figured everything out, but because you've allowed me to lead even when nothing made sense. You were protected when you didn't feel it, preserved when you thought you were forgotten, positioned while you felt overlooked, and now you're being released. Not just into another assignment, but into a fulfillment that was delayed only so that you could be strengthened for it. I saw you. In every moment you thought no one was paying attention, I watched with compassion. I saw you get up and try again when you didn't have the strength. I saw you pull yourself together and step out into the world with a smile, even when your heart was breaking under the weight of yesterday. I saw you say, "I'm fine." Not because you were, but because the pain was too deep to explain. And in those exact moments, especially in those moments, I was with you. I never waited for you to be stronger. I never asked you to pretend. I never expected perfection. I was drawn not to your ability, but to your honesty. It was your quiet endurance, your soft heart in a harsh world, your stubborn hope in the middle of hopelessness that moved my heart. You've wondered so many times if I truly understood. You've asked if I saw how hard you tried, even when nothing changed. You questioned whether I remembered the whispered prayers, the quiet obedience, the small acts of faith no one else applauded. Here is my answer. Yes, I saw it all, and I never stopped loving you. Not for 1 second. Not when you doubted. Not when you were too tired to believe. Not even when you questioned me. You see, I don't distance myself from your humanity. I stepped into it with you. I walked through the dark with you. I sat with you in the silence. And even when your heart was too heavy to pray, I was still listening. I have never changed my mind about you. Not on your worst day. Not in your darkest hour. You are not my project. You are my child. I don't love you because of what you do. I love you because you are mine. And everything I've removed, every door I closed, every answer I delayed, it wasn't to punish you. It was to bring you closer. It was to reveal how deeply I care for your soul. I know you've questioned your worth. I know you've tried to measure your value by your usefulness, your productivity, your visibility. I know how rejection tried to write its name on your identity. But what others missed, I never did. Their blindness never diminished your beauty. Their inability to see you never made you less seen by me. You weren't created to be defined by temporary applause. You were made to walk in the eternal truth of my love. Your worth is not a question mark in my eyes. It is a declaration, sealed in eternity. You've asked me why certain people left, why plans unraveled without warning, why things fell apart when they seemed so close to coming together. And here's what I need you to understand. Not everything was meant to stay. Some people were removed because their presence would have blurred your vision. Some plans were dismantled because they were not aligned with your true purpose. I didn't do it to hurt you. I did it to protect the dream I placed within you. You asked me to grow you, to use you, to make your life meaningful. But before I could build, I had to clear the ground. And yes, I know it hurt, but I didn't leave you alone to heal. I held you, even when you couldn't feel me. And now, I want you to stop asking, "What's next?" just for a moment. Instead, ask me, "God, how do you see me now?" Because if you could only see yourself through my eyes, your next steps would flow not from fear or striving, but from confidence. When I look at you, I don't see someone barely surviving. I see someone who withstood the storm. I see someone who stood when others ran. I see someone who chose faith even when fear screamed louder. I see someone carrying my breath in every broken place, and I call that beautiful. So I invite you back to relationship over performance, not another sprint, not another cycle of overachieving. Come and rest with me. Come sit, not as a servant scrambling to prove worth, but as a son, as a daughter, already fully loved. Your greatest strength isn't in how perfectly you move, it's in how deeply you abide. I'm not asking for more effort. I'm asking for deeper surrender. Let me hold what you've been managing alone. Let me carry the questions you've been too afraid to speak. Let me be your source again. Return to me, not out of obligation, but for connection. Meet me in the quiet. Invite me into the ordinary. I am always speaking. I am always near. You don't need the perfect words. I know your heart. You don't have to fake a smile. I see through it. You don't need to clean yourself up. Just come. Come tired. Come unsure. Come empty. Come hopeful. And as you come, I will reveal the rest, little by little. You don't need to understand everything right now. Just understand this. I have never left you, and I never will. Everything that's coming has already been prepared. The provision is already in place. The obstacles have already been removed, and I will walk with you every step of the way. My child, you've reached a point in your journey where the weight of almost has left marks on your soul. Almost healed, almost chosen, almost seen, almost stable. You've been standing in the hallway of hope, watching doors shut one after another, asking, "God, why would you bring me this far just to let it fall apart?" And I say to you now, I never brought you this far to abandon you. I brought you this far to rebuild you. You see the closed door. I see what was behind it. You feel the sting of what didn't happen. I see the soul damage that was spared. You ask me why it came so close only to disappear. And I tell you, because my mercy intervened. I removed it not because you were unworthy, but because it wasn't worthy of what I placed inside you. I've called you to more. But before more could come, I had to subtract what was less. I had to clear what clung to your confidence. What disguised itself as opportunity, what mimicked growth but was hollow at the root. Not everything that looks like a blessing is sent by me. Some things come dressed in light but carry shadows, and I love you too much to let you settle for the illusion when I've prepared something real. You prayed for strength, and I answered with stretching. You asked for clarity, and I answered with silence to draw you closer. You asked for purpose, and I allowed pressure, because pressure refines what comfort cannot. Do not despise what I used to shape you. You learned how to stand, not because the path was easy, but because I never let you fall alone. You learned what real faith feels like, not when everything was working, but when nothing made sense and you chose me anyway. You grew, even in the confusion. You matured, even in the mess. And now, even though you still carry some questions, you also carry something far more powerful. Depth. The kind of depth that only comes from time spent in the hidden places. The kind of depth that doesn't scream for attention, but walks with quiet authority. You don't have to convince anyone of your value. What I've placed in you will reveal itself in time. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are being unveiled in perfect alignment with my plan. Let go of comparing your path to others. Their timeline is not your truth. Their highlight reel is not your reality. What I'm doing in you is sacred. It's been protected, and because of that, it's going to last. Quick success fades. Rushed purpose burns out. But what I build in time, I establish forever. I've been peeling away the layers you thought you needed. The masks, the roles, the survival strategies. And underneath it all, I've been revealing the real you. The one I created before pain ever touched you. The one who doesn't have to perform to be accepted. The one who's not driven by fear, but led by faith. You are learning that you don't have to chase what's yours. You only have to walk with me. When your steps align with my spirit, nothing can block what I've ordained. You don't need to fight your way into rooms. I open the doors no one can shut. I write the invitations they can't ignore. So breathe. You don't have to rush. I'm not in a hurry with your healing. I'm not impatient with your progress. I don't expect you to know everything. I only ask that you stay close. You've walked through fire and come out more refined, not more hardened. That's a miracle. You've endured loss and still kept your heart soft. That's strength. You've been surrounded by noise and still learned to listen for my whisper. That's growth. And now I'm sending you forth not with hype, but with heavenly authority. This isn't the beginning of a sprint. It's the continuation of a sacred walk. You've been faithful in the field, and now I'm transitioning you from sowing in tears to reaping in joy, from waiting in faith to moving in favor, from silence to supernatural clarity. But as I move, don't forget what kept you grounded. Stay anchored in me. Let my voice be louder than the crowds. Let my spirit be your guide when choices feel complex. Don't chase elevation. Chase intimacy. Don't seek fame. Seek faithfulness. Because influence without my presence is empty, but presence with even a little influence is enough to shift the atmosphere. I'm calling you to build, not just projects or platforms, but people. I'm calling you to love without fear, to lead without ego, to walk in truth, even when it's costly. I've poured wisdom into you, not so you could show off, but so you could speak life. I've healed your heart, not so you could forget the pain, but so you could show others it's possible to be whole again. And now you'll begin to see what all of this was for. The pain had purpose. The loss made room. The silence trained your spirit. The delays humbled your heart. The isolation taught you intimacy with me. Every scar will serve as a testimony. Every wound is now a well of compassion. Every no led to a greater yes. And every piece of your story, even the ones you wanted to erase, will now point others toward my goodness. So lift your eyes. This isn't the end, it's the unfolding. You're not stepping into something random. You're stepping into something redeemed. I've gone before you. I've made a way. And what I have prepared, no man can block. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not on the outside. You are called. You are chosen. You are ready, my child. You've carried so much in silence. Disappointments that weighed you down. Dreams that felt buried. Questions that never found answers. But through it all, you never stopped showing up. You walked forward with shaky steps, prayed prayers through tears, and held on even when your hands felt weak. That perseverance is not overlooked in heaven. In fact, it's been recorded in every moment. Not 1 ounce of it was wasted. You didn't just survive. You allowed yourself to be stretched, reshaped, and refined in the fire. And now, I want to remind you, this is not just a season of reflection. It's a season of reward. Yes, I know you've been waiting, but what I'm releasing into your life isn't small. It's the harvest of long nights, long prayers, long obedience in the same direction. This isn't about finally being noticed. It's about being positioned. You are not entering a season of luck. You are stepping into the fulfillment of promises that were written long before time began. The peace you've started to feel lately, the clarity coming to your heart, the weight that's beginning to lift. That's me. That's my spirit confirming what your soul has suspected. The warfare is ending and the window is opening. But listen carefully. You don't need to strive to get what's already been set aside for you. My blessings don't require your exhaustion. They require your alignment. I want your steps, not your stress. I want your surrender, not your self-protection. I want your trust, not your perfect plans. Because this next move is not about proving your worth. It's about believing in mine. You don't need to hustle your way into what I've already written with your name on it. What's coming will fit you without you having to force it. The doors that are opening will feel like peace, not pressure. And when you walk through them, you'll realize they were crafted just for the version of you that was refined in the wilderness. Yes, that's why I removed certain people. Yes, that's why I let some plans fall through. Yes, that's why it felt like things were moving backward. Because I was rewriting the ending so that it would bless you, not break you. And now you're standing at the threshold of something holy. I need you to walk through it not as someone barely making it, but as someone marked by grace. Let go of the guilt for how long it took. Let go of the fear that you're too late. You're right on time, not according to the world, but according to my divine calendar. I don't measure readiness by what you've accomplished. I measure it by what you've surrendered. You've learned to depend on me when no one else had answers. You've learned to worship without evidence, to believe without confirmation, to stay planted even when fruit wasn't visible. And now, because of that, you can carry what others cannot. You can walk in rooms with confidence, not arrogance, because your confidence isn't in yourself. It's in my spirit within you. This is why the attacks intensified before the shift. The enemy saw the expansion before you did. He tried to wear you out before the blessing arrived. He tried to convince you it wasn't worth it. But you stayed. You resisted. You kept coming to me. And now, I am honoring what the world ignored. Your prayers didn't just go into the air. They built foundations in the spirit. Your tears didn't just fall. They watered seeds that are now breaking through the soil. Every unseen sacrifice was preparing you for a visible move of my hand. But I'm not just releasing blessing, I'm releasing strategy. You will not just receive, you will know what to do with what I give. Your eyes will be sharper, your heart more discerning. You'll know what to hold, what to release, and who's truly sent by me. Because what's coming requires maturity. It requires stewardship. It requires you to remember why I gave it in the first place. This is not about elevation for applause. It's about positioning for impact. I'm placing you where your voice will matter, where your story will break chains, where your wisdom will guide others who are walking the path you already survived. And I'm not just blessing you. I'm restoring everything the enemy tried to convince you was lost forever. Your joy is returning. Your hope is rising. Your passion is awakening. And your clarity is being restored. You are not too broken. You are not too far gone. You are not behind. You are being reintroduced, not as the person shaped by pain, but as the one refined by purpose. And when others see you walk in your new season, they'll wonder how you did it. And you'll simply say, "It was never me. It was always God." That humility is what will keep you. That reverence is what will sustain you. That dependence is what will continue to draw heaven's resources to your side. So get ready, not just for a blessing, but for a birthing. You're not stepping into another phase. You're stepping into the manifestation of answered prayers. You are walking into a space where the weight you once carried is now being transformed into wisdom. The ache you once felt is now being transformed into authority. And this time, you won't walk in timid, you'll walk in whole. Because I, the Lord your God, have prepared this moment for you. I have prepared you for this moment. And I will walk with you into it, not as a stranger cheering from a distance, but as your father, your friend, your deliverer, your guide, my child. This is the season where I begin to return what you thought was lost. But what I give back won't look exactly like what was taken. It will be greater. I never waste pain. I never allow loss without a deeper plan to restore. What you're stepping into now is not a replacement. It's redemption. What I give you will not just fill the void. It will rebuild what was broken from the inside out. You've grieved over relationships that slipped through your hands, over dreams that felt like they died too soon, over moments you thought you'd never recover from. And yet, here you are, still standing, still believing, still hoping in me. That is not weakness. That is courage soaked in grace. And I honor that. I know it didn't always make sense. I know the silence felt long. I know you questioned why I took certain things away, especially when they looked so close to being good. But the truth is, I wasn't taking, I was trading. I was exchanging temporary comfort for eternal purpose. I was replacing fragile support with unshakable foundation. And yes, it hurt, but it healed more than you even realize. You thought you were walking through the valley alone, but I was there, protecting you from things that would have damaged your soul permanently. I saw the dangers you didn't. I heard the conversations behind your back. I discerned the motives you couldn't see. And when I said no, it wasn't to hold you back. It was to save your destiny. Now that you've come through it, do you see it more clearly? Can you feel the shift in your spirit? The same things that used to break you no longer hold power over you. That's because I've matured your faith. You're not as easily shaken. Your trust is deeper. Your foundation is no longer based on results. It's rooted in relationship. You've grown in silence. You've blossomed in hiddenness. You've gained spiritual muscle when no one was clapping, when no one saw the price you were paying. And now, because you endured, I can trust you with more. I'm not just giving you more so you can enjoy it. I'm giving you more because you've been faithful with little. I watched how you stewarded what was barely enough. I saw how you praised me when the blessing hadn't yet arrived. And now I'm multiplying what's in your hands, not to elevate you in the eyes of man, but to establish you in the center of my will. But even as I bless you, don't forget, the process was the point. What happened in the waiting shaped who you became. The fire refined you. The pruning humbled you. The isolation taught you to hear my voice above all others. And that is why you'll walk into this next season different. You won't carry pride. You'll carry peace. You won't seek validation. You'll walk in quiet confidence. You won't over-explain yourself. You'll simply obey my voice. I've already gone ahead of you. What looked uncertain is already clear in my plan. What felt impossible is already marked complete in my timeline. And what you thought would take years, I will accelerate by my hand. I know what I placed in you. I know the weight of your calling. I know how carefully I've shaped your heart. And that is why I had to remove what couldn't stay. Some relationships were too fragile to carry what I'm about to release. Some environments were too limiting for what I'm about to grow in you. You've outgrown what once felt comfortable. That's why it felt tight lately. That's why things that used to bring peace began to feel draining. It wasn't because you were doing something wrong. It was because I was expanding you. And now you're ready. Ready to speak with authority. Ready to lead with humility. Ready to give without fear of being emptied. Ready to walk in a room and shift the atmosphere. Not with your title, but with my presence in you. You are not the same person you were at the beginning of this journey. You are more resilient, more aware, more spiritually aligned, and you didn't get here by chance. You got here by choosing me over and over again, even when it was hard, even when it was quiet. That's what I honor. That's what I bless. Not performance, but persistence. Not popularity, but purity of heart. So prepare yourself, not for struggle, but for stewardship. Not for fear, but for favor. Not for surviving, but for thriving in purpose. What I place in your hands now will require wisdom. It will require discernment. But I have already equipped you. And when you feel unsure, I will be there, whispering direction, confirming each step, reminding you, you don't walk alone. People will ask, how did it happen so suddenly? And you'll smile, because you'll know it wasn't sudden. It was years of hidden obedience, years of surrender, years of spiritual roots growing deep where no one could see. This is the fruit of the unseen. This is the harvest of obedience. And I will not stop here. I will continue to grow what I've planted. You won't just be blessed. You'll become a blessing to others. You won't just walk in breakthrough. You'll break chains for others through your story. Because what you carry now is not just for you. It's for the ones who are still in the waiting. It's for the ones who wonder if I hear them. You'll be the reminder. Yes, He hears. Yes, He restores. Yes, He knows what He's doing. So rise, beloved, with steady feet and an open heart. This is not the end. It's the expansion. This is not a conclusion. It's a commissioning. And I am with you, fully, faithfully, and forever. My child, do not be surprised when people begin to take notice of you, not because of the clothes you wear, or the places you go, or the words you speak, but because of the presence you carry. You are marked, not by titles or applause, but by me. And when I mark someone, the atmosphere responds. Even if the world doesn't understand why. You will walk into rooms and shift the temperature, not because of your voice, but because of the oil I've poured over your life. You've paid a price in private. You've labored in secret. You've wept behind closed doors. And now the oil is rising. You are stepping into your assignment, not to make a name for yourself, but to reflect mine. I want you to hear me clearly. You are not rising to impress. You are rising to influence with love, to represent my heart in places that have forgotten me, to be light in rooms that have grown cold with pride and fear. Don't be afraid of the attention. Don't shrink when people ask, why you? You don't need to explain your calling to those who never saw your crushing. They didn't see the wrestle. They didn't witness the days you begged me to lift the weight. They didn't see the nights you surrendered again and again, crying, "God, use me, even if it costs." And I took you at your word. I heard that prayer. I saw the sincerity. And while others chased platforms, you chased me. While others sought comfort, you sought closeness. And that is why I chose to build something lasting inside of you, a foundation that can carry my presence, not just your plans. But even as I elevate you, don't forget the posture of your heart. Stay low in the spirit. Stay tender. Stay teachable. Because the higher I take you, the more essential it is that you stay rooted in my truth. There will be voices that try to pull you away. Distractions will come dressed as destiny, but you will know, because my spirit within you will whisper, "Not this one, not now, not that way." Follow peace, not pressure. Follow wisdom, not popularity. You are not missing out by walking slowly with me. You are being protected. You are being strategically led into places no shortcut could ever take you. The quick path burns people out, but the God path builds people up. And what I'm building in you now, it's legacy, it's impact, it's transformation. You're not just called to be seen. You're called to set captives free. Your words will carry healing. Your testimony will release chains. Your presence will remind people that I am still close, still active, still the God who makes all things new. So don't apologize for the anointing. Don't silence yourself to make others comfortable. Don't dim what I've lit inside you. But also, don't become prideful. Don't forget the pit I pulled you from. Don't forget the grace that carried you when you had nothing left. That humility will be your shield. That reverence will keep you safe. And remember, you are not alone in this. I am sending people, kingdom people, who will walk with you, cover you, pray for you, speak truth in love, and remind you of who you are when the battle gets loud. You don't need a crowd. You need a covenant circle. These people will not just celebrate you, they'll challenge you to grow. They won't just enjoy your gift, they'll protect your soul. I have preserved them for this time, and I will connect you in the proper season. You don't have to force it. I orchestrate divine relationships at divine timing. Right now, your focus is me. Let me be your mentor. Let me lead. Let me filter the invitations. Let me approve the opportunities. I see what's coming and I know what's best. You've waited so long, but I assure you, you haven't missed your moment. What I'm preparing to do won't be delayed. It will be right on time. You are not late. You are on heaven's clock, and every tick is aligned with eternity. What felt like a setback was really a setup. What felt like rejection was actually redirection. What seemed like loss was making room for more than you imagined. And soon, you will look back and say, "I understand now. It hurt, but it had purpose. It broke me, but it built me." You'll see that my hand was on every chapter, even the ones you wanted to rip out. This isn't just your next season, it's the beginning of a new assignment. I'm not just restoring what you lost, I'm reintroducing you to the world, but this time, not as the one who was broken, but as the one who was rebuilt with my breath. You are not who you were. You've evolved, you've been refined, you've been tested, and now you've been trusted. So walk forward boldly, not arrogantly, but confidently, knowing that you are walking in what I ordained. Let your shoulders relax. Let your heart breathe. Let your spirit soar. The pressure isn't on you to perform. It's on me to fulfill what I promised. And I will. I always do. Because I am the God who removes what you didn't see. The God who protects in silence. The God who aligns what others tried to destroy. The God who writes endings better than your beginnings. This is not too big for you. You've been prepared for this. What once intimidated you will now feel like home, because it was always meant for you. And every time fear tries to whisper again, speak back with faith. Remind yourself, I am walking in what God covered, protected, refined, and promised. You're not here by accident. You are here by divine appointment. And I, your Father, your defender, your faithful shepherd, I'm walking you into everything you didn't know you were ready for. My child, I need you to understand that what I'm doing now isn't random. It's not a passing emotion or a temporary high. What I'm releasing into your life has been in preparation for a long time. You didn't just stumble into this shift. You were led into it. intentionally, slowly, faithfully. And now you are stepping into a reality that your heart has longed for but didn't know how to name. This is the beginning of fulfillment. This is the fruit of private surrender, becoming public alignment. You have no idea how much I've cleared from your path to bring you here. The delays you experienced were not disappointments. They were developments. They were the places I strengthened your foundation when no one was watching. Every season that seemed to be filled with silence was, in fact, filled with strategy. You thought nothing was happening, but I was preparing the atmosphere of your future to match the weight of what I've placed inside of you. Now, I am calling you to walk with greater awareness. You've already started to notice it. Subtle shifts in conversations, unexpected peace in places that once brought anxiety, confirmations that seem too timely to be coincidence. Those are not random moments. Those are signs. They are my fingerprints, whispers in your spirit that something sacred is taking shape. But you must be alert, not in fear, but in faith, because the signs will not always come with loud announcements. Some of them will arrive in gentle nudges, in simple verses repeated in unexpected places, in people you've never met speaking directly to the questions of your heart. You'll feel clarity rise up in moments that used to be filled with confusion. And when you do, I want you to recognize it for what it is. Me, my spirit, my leading, my answer. This is not the time to doubt yourself. You've spent enough time second-guessing your worth, wondering if you were really hearing me. But the enemy tried to use delay to plant doubt. He whispered, maybe you missed it. Maybe God changed his mind. But here's the truth. I never changed my mind about you. Not once. Not in your lowest season. Not in your hardest moment. Not even when you questioned me. Now, I'm removing the last remnants of fear from your heart. You don't need to earn what I'm releasing. You just need to receive it. Not with pride, but with humility. Not with panic, but with peace. This is the fruit of hidden faithfulness. The reward for the quiet, yes. The harvest from the seeds sown in secret. You're not being promoted because of your performance. You're being positioned because of your posture. I've seen how you continued to pray when nothing changed. I've watched you love people who never said thank you. I've honored the times you kept showing up, not because it was easy, but because you refused to quit. And now, my child, the heavens are opening not as a favor you begged for, but as the outcome of trust I can count on. You will begin to experience divine acceleration, not a rush, but a rhythm. Doors will begin to open that were previously locked. Conversations will begin to take place that you didn't arrange. Opportunities will be presented to you, not because you chased them, but because I've aligned them with your timeline. But remember, not every open door is from me, and not every invitation deserves your yes. That's why I've been increasing your discernment. You'll begin to feel it in your spirit. A check, a pause, a peace, or a warning. Don't override it. Learn to trust the signals I've placed within you, because the enemy won't always come with resistance. Sometimes he'll come disguised as opportunity. Stay close to me, and you'll know the difference. You don't have to fear the speed of this next season. I've made you ready. And even if you don't feel fully equipped, that's okay. I'm not looking for perfect preparation. I'm looking for consistent connection. If you stay close to me, I'll give you what you need, step by step. You won't have to chase clarity. You'll walk in it, because I'll make the way clear as you move forward in faith. You'll begin to see prayers you prayed years ago begin to bloom. Ones you forgot, ones you thought were denied, but I didn't forget. I stored them, I watered them in secret, and now they are pushing through the surface. Not all at once, but enough that you'll know. God did not forget me. Some of the signs of this shift will come through disruption, and when certain things begin to fall apart, don't panic. Not every shaking is the enemy. Some shakings are me, dismantling what can no longer carry your next. I'm not just adding new things to your life. I'm clearing the clutter so that the new can take root. I never subtract without intention to multiply. Let go. Trust me in the falling away just as much as you trust me in the rising up. The people, patterns, and systems that are leaving are not being stolen. They're being released, because they would have competed with the peace I'm placing in you now. Wake up with expectation again, not the kind of forced optimism that breaks under pressure. I'm talking about real, anchored hope. Ask me, God, what are you doing today? And listen, I'll answer. not always in words. Sometimes in a nudge, sometimes in divine timing, sometimes in supernatural peace when the world expects you to panic. You'll see it in emails that arrive right on time. You'll hear it in songs that echo my truth over your soul. You'll sense it in your spirit when decisions you were unsure about suddenly feel clear. Pay attention. These are the signs. These are the moments. This is me leading you. This is the season where your obedience matters more than your understanding. You don't have to have all the answers. Just give me your yes, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it doesn't make sense. Faith doesn't always feel convenient, but obedience always opens doors that logic never could. Speak boldly, not from pride, but from alignment. Begin declaring what I've said over your life. Speak it until your inner world matches heaven's report. Speak peace over your atmosphere. Declare freedom over your mind. Release truth over your relationships. Use your words to anchor your reality to what I have already promised. I'm also releasing people into your life, divine alignments, kingdom connections, people who don't drain you, but build you, people who speak my language, carry my heart, and walk in similar rhythm. You won't have to perform for them. You won't have to explain yourself. You'll know they're from me because of the peace they bring. So breathe. This is not the beginning of survival. This is the beginning of movement. This is the season where what you've been carrying inwardly begins to break the surface, not to show off, but to show me off. You carry my presence, and that will make the difference, not just in your life, but in the lives you touch. Get ready, not for noise, but for impact. You're not rising to be noticed. You're rising to be used. And I am with you. I have always been. My child, as you step deeper into what I've prepared for you, you'll begin to notice that what used to drain you no longer affects you the same. That's not accidental. That's transformation. I've been doing something internal before I release the external. The heaviness that used to sit on your shoulders has lifted. That mental fog, that emotional fatigue, that cloud of confusion, it's clearing because you are finally seeing yourself the way I see you. You are no longer walking like someone barely making it. You are walking like someone being carried by purpose. And that shift? It didn't come from circumstances changing. It came because your spirit started catching up to my truth. You've stopped measuring your future by your past. You've stopped defining your worth by what others failed to see. You've stopped asking, "Am I enough?" and started trusting He is enough in me. That is why I've been removing what no longer matches who you've become. People, patterns, perspectives. This pruning was not rejection. It was refinement. I was clearing space for the oil to flow. You cannot carry my glory and still cling to what once comforted your insecurity. You must walk in clarity now, not to be perfect, but to be present. Not to have it all figured out, but to stay rooted in who I've always said you are. You have wondered why certain doors that once opened easily now remain shut. It's because those doors were for the old version of you, the one who sought approval, the one who lived from performance, the one who thought love had to be earned. But I'm not sending you back to prove anything. I'm moving you forward to walk in everything. There are places you once prayed to be included. Now, I've elevated you to the point where exclusion is no longer rejection, it's protection. If only you knew what I've withheld for your safety. I've heard the motives behind the compliments. I've seen the manipulation behind the invitations. And before it could touch your calling, I cut it off. I'm not just calling you to walk through new doors. I'm training you to discern which ones I open, because not every opportunity is from me. And in this season, you'll need to pause before stepping. You'll need to pray before speaking. You'll need to ask me, Lord, is this for now? Or is this a distraction dressed as a door? Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to wait. You're not missing anything that's truly yours. I've timed this to perfection. I'm not in a hurry. And because you're in my hands, you don't have to be either. What I have for you will meet you at the intersection of preparation and peace. Yes, peace. That's your confirmation now. Not chaos, not pressure, not anxiety pretending to be urgency. You'll know it's me when your spirit settles, even if your mind still has questions. You'll know it's me when rest follows the risk, And you'll know it's me because it won't require compromising your identity to fit in. This time, you'll walk through the right doors as your full self. No dimming, no shrinking, no adjusting your voice to sound more acceptable. You'll walk in the light of revelation. You'll walk in the strength of someone who has been crushed but not broken. You'll walk like someone who's been anointed in the wilderness, not crowned by man. And yes, people will ask where you've been. They'll wonder why you disappeared, and you'll simply smile because you'll know you were being rebuilt. While the world was moving fast, you were going deep. While others chased attention, you chose alignment. While noise filled the air, you learned the language of silence. That silence made you strong. It taught you how to discern my voice above the clamor. It taught you that fruit doesn't grow from visibility. It grows from intimacy. You've learned that success without stillness is empty. And now, because of that inner anchoring, I can trust you with outer influence. You don't need to fear what's ahead. You're not entering a season of proving. You're entering a season of producing. And not from pressure, but from overflow. What you carry now will spill over into every room, every project, every conversation. It will heal without forcing. It will impact without effort. That's the power of presence. Not yours, but mine in you. Let me remind you again, you are not late. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. You are right on time for everything I've appointed. What you thought was a detour was really a divine delay, not to hurt you, not to stop you, but to prepare you for the weight of glory that is about to rest upon your life. You were never meant to carry this alone. That's why I'm also sending help. Divine alignments are forming. People who don't just applaud your gift, but protect your purpose. People who see your soul, not just your skill. People who cover you, not compete with you. You'll know them by their fruit. You'll recognize them by their humility. And when they arrive, honor them as the answer to a prayer you didn't know you prayed. You've always thought you had to do it all alone, but that was never my design. I've built a body, not a solo act. And now I'm restoring to you the beauty of belonging, not in a crowd, but in covenant. Don't isolate in this next chapter. Invite. Trust. Let people in. Not everyone, but the ones I show you. This will be your protection and your acceleration. You were never created to carry oil in isolation. It flows better in community. So as you step further into this season, stay connected to me. Not just when things are hard, but even more when they're going well. Your success does not exempt you from intimacy. It demands it. Stay soft. Stay still. Stay surrendered. I'll handle the rest. My beloved child, this is the part of your journey where I need you to walk differently. Not faster, not louder, but deeper. There is a shift happening around you. But more importantly, there's a shift happening within you. What once shook you doesn't shake you anymore. The voices that used to control your decisions no longer carry the same weight. That's not pride, it's maturity. That's what growth in me looks like. I'm not just elevating your life, I'm expanding your spirit. Your capacity to discern, to carry, to respond, to love, it's growing. And it didn't grow because life got easier. It grew because you chose to stay connected to me when life was unclear. You've crossed over into a space where you no longer need constant reassurance. You've learned to trust my silence. You've learned to rest when you don't understand. That is why I can now entrust you with what I once had to withhold. You've come through the fire, but you didn't come out bitter. You came out brighter. You didn't allow disappointment to close your heart. Instead, you let me use it to deepen your understanding. That's why your light now carries healing. That's why your words carry weight. You've been refined, not by popularity, but by presence. And now, as I begin to release the promises that have been stored up for you, you must protect what you've gained. You fought too hard to lose it in distraction. You've sacrificed too much to hand it over to fear. This is not the time to coast. This is the time to stay sharp. Just as I removed things from your path that you never saw, I will now begin to place people, doors, and ideas in your path that will feel divinely timed. And that's because they are. You'll walk into moments that feel like they were written in advance. Because they were. I have prepared not just a place for you, but a pace. And when you stay in step with me, you will not miss it. You won't need to force your way into this next phase. It will come to you because your spirit is aligned. I will give you the words. I will open the doors. I will provide the favor. But you must remain grounded in me. Your consistency will be your greatest strength. Don't look at how fast others are moving. Don't compare your visibility to someone else's success. What I'm building through you will last because it's built on a foundation of trust. And when the storm comes, and yes, storms will come, what you've built with me will remain. This is legacy, not hype. This is impact, not impression. So steward it well. When the invitations come, pray. When the spotlight turns, worship. When the pressure rises, breathe and return to me. I didn't give you this so you could manage it alone. I gave it to you so we could walk it together. Just as I was faithful in your hidden season, I will be faithful in your revealed season. Don't be afraid when people from your past try to re-enter your present. Some will come with changed hearts. Others will come with the same patterns. Ask me. I'll show you the difference. I didn't teach you discernment so you could ignore it. I taught you so you could move with clarity and confidence. This is not the time to apologize for your growth. You don't owe anyone an explanation for becoming whole. What they couldn't handle before doesn't disqualify you now. You've been made new, not through striving, but through surrender. You are walking proof that my hand still delivers, still heals, still restores. You are not a product of survival. You are a vessel of transformation. And the oil that's flowing from your life now, that came from pressure, from crushing, from staying when everything in you wanted to run. Honor that oil. Guard it. Everyone will want the result, but few will understand the price. That's why I will give you wisdom, not just in what to release, but in when to release it and to whom. You won't waste what I've given you. Not this time. Not in this season. You're not just stepping into favor. You're stepping into divine strategy. That's why the plans you make will begin to come together faster than before. That's why the meetings will suddenly lead to movement. That's why you'll feel momentum in the spirit before it happens in the natural. Stay sensitive. I'll speak through people, through scriptures, through dreams. Stay open. Don't box me into only speaking through what's familiar. I am doing a new thing, and because it's new, it won't always feel familiar, but it will feel like peace. It will feel like me. You've earned nothing. You've surrendered everything, and that's why this season will be marked by grace. Grace that opens, grace that carries, grace that finishes what I started. So when you begin to feel overwhelmed, pause, take a breath. Remember, I chose you, I formed you, I covered you, and I called you. This is not a mistake. You are not an imposter. You are a child of the Most High God, walking in alignment with a heavenly blueprint. And what I started in you, I will finish. Even when you feel unsure, I remain steady. Even when you feel unqualified, my spirit within you qualifies every step. This journey is not about you being perfect. It's about me being present. And I am, my child. We have come a long way together. And yet, this is not the end. It's the beginning of a deeper walk, a new chapter, a sacred unfolding. You've crossed through fire, weathered storms, and waited in silence. But now I want you to know, you are stepping into fulfillment. Not just of the things you prayed for, but of things you didn't even know to ask. Because while you were focused on what was visible, I was working in the unseen. I was rearranging timelines. I was silencing voices of sabotage. I was removing battles you were never meant to fight. And now, after all the stripping, the refining, the pressing, comes the unveiling. This next part of your life is not about proving what you've survived. It's about becoming what I preserved. You didn't come this far just to say, I made it. You came this far so I could show the world what it looks like when someone walks with me through every valley and still comes out radiant, healed, whole. I want you to look back, not to grieve, but to honor. The nights you almost gave up, I held you. The moments you didn't know how to pray, I interceded for you. The seasons that felt like delay, I was preparing the people, the place, and the path. Not a single second was wasted. Even when you didn't see me, I was there. In every interruption, in every redirection, in every sudden loss and every gentle nudge, I was orchestrating something bigger than you could see. And now, The picture is coming into view. I am releasing you, not just into blessing, but into clarity. You're no longer just surviving. You're stepping into strategy. The things that used to drain you won't even faze you. The lies that once bound you have no power now. You know who you are. More importantly, you know who I am in you. I'm proud of how you've grown, proud of how you let go, proud of how you trusted me when all you had was a whisper. You didn't need fireworks. You didn't demand signs. You just chose me, even when it cost you. And that kind of faith, that kind of surrender, I multiply it. So here's my promise. You will not have to fight to be seen. You will not have to manipulate to be included. You will not have to hustle to be blessed. I will go before you. I will establish your name where I've called you. I will raise your voice where I've assigned you. And what you carry now, it's not just oil, it's a mantle. You've been marked by fire. You've been trained by tears. And now, when you speak, healing will flow. Not because of eloquence, but because of the weight your words carry. Because you lived it. Because you didn't just learn truth, you became it. There are people waiting on your yes, waiting on your obedience, waiting on your story. You will minister from places of authenticity, not performance. You will walk into rooms not as a guest, but as a carrier of my presence. People won't know why they feel peace around you, but they will. People won't understand how chains break when you speak, but they will witness it. Don't be afraid of this. I've equipped you. I've anointed you. You don't need to know everything. You just need to stay connected to me. When you feel stretched, return to stillness. When you feel overwhelmed, return to the secret place. When you feel empty, remember, I am your source. You don't need to be strong all the time. You don't need to have it all together. You just need to be real. With me, I can handle your questions. I can carry your burdens. And I will continue to remind you that this journey was never about perfection. It was about presence. I've removed the weight of proving. I've broken the addiction to approval. I've healed the parts of you that thought love had to be earned. And now you walk freely, lightly, authentically. I'm proud of how far you've come. You don't see it all yet, but you will. You'll see the reasons why I said no. You'll see the beauty in the broken pieces. You'll understand why certain people couldn't stay. And when it all comes together, you'll know I was faithful all along. So here is my instruction. Walk boldly, love deeply, and trust consistently. Stop waiting for perfection. Start living in purpose. Stop delaying what I've already confirmed. Go forward. The ground is firm beneath your feet. The wind of my spirit is behind you. The light is green, and my hand is on you. You have no idea what I removed to get you here. But one day, you'll see, and you'll thank me for every blocked path, every silent delay, and every unseen rescue. Because in all of it, I was protecting something precious, you. Now go. Walk in your fullness. Speak from your scars. Lead from your healing. Love from your overflow. You are ready. You are called. And I am with you, now and always. My beloved, if this message spoke to your heart, if something in your spirit felt seen, known, or comforted, that was me, speaking directly to you. Don't keep this word to yourself. There's someone else who needs to hear it. Someone walking through the silence. Someone wondering if I'm still with them. So I invite you, like this video, if it brought peace to your soul. Share it with someone who needs reminding. I never stop protecting, even in the unseen. And subscribe to stay close to my voice, because I'm not finished speaking, and I'm not finished with you. You have no idea what I removed from your path, but you're about to see why. Until next time, stay close, stay faithful, and stay ready. I am always with you.